Tonight, Year 12 students farewell the classroom after a rocky year at school, and a Port Lincoln man charged following a police drug search.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamain begins now.
Good evening. After what's been a year set for the history books, Year 12 students across the region celebrated their last official day of school. Students now preparing for upcoming exams, with many not letting COVID-19 stand in the way of their future.
An emotional morning filled with plenty of hugs, tears and warm embraces from proud parents. This 2020 Year 12 cohort, blissfully unaware of the extreme circumstances they would face this year when they sharpened their pencils for one of the already biggest years of their lives. Now only a step away from the finish line, it's a proud moment for teachers, students and parents, conquering a year like never before.
Very proud of my daughter Esther, so yeah, we're all happy and we are very excited.
I'm so proud. I've got my grandson and 2 grandnieces.
Finishing Year 12, it's a bit emotional seeing her finish today, and it has been a really tough year with COVID, so we're really proud to see how far she's come.
Finishing with a smile, these 46 Samaritan College students took to the school's famous steps for the traditional end-of-year photo, with the principal even joining in for a selfie.
It's special anyway when they graduate, but they'll really know it was different. And this group was actually the very first group that started reception in Samaritan as well, so they got a double whammy for a special year this year.
It's been a crazy year, so I feel like there's been a lot of build-up, so we haven't really been here for most of the year, so I feel like we haven't had that really Year 12 experience, which normally people talk about. Yeah, so now that we're finishing, it's just so weird and crazy.
Us as a cohort, our year, we've persevered through the struggles, and I think that kind of shows through everybody and how they've dealt with it.
But it hasn't stopped this generation from pursuing their dreams.
This year I'm planning to go to uni, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A 26-year-old Port Lincoln man has been charged after a police drug search in the city yesterday afternoon. Police say a search of a property uncovered a trafficable amount of methamphetamine, cannabis and a taser. The man has been charged with traffic in a controlled drug and possess of a prohibited weapon, and is set to face court at a later date. Meanwhile, a 34-year-old woman was detected driving 3 times over the legal alcohol limit at Port Lincoln this morning. Police say the driver was stopped at Ikara Street, allegedly producing a blood alcohol reading of 0.160, and was slapped with a 12-month instant loss of licence, with her vehicle impounded for 28 days. She'll face court soon. New data has revealed the price of generating electricity in South Australia has nearly halved in 12 months. The Australian energy market operator finding the wholesale spot price fell to $40 per megawatt hour for the September quarter. In the same quarter last year, it was $75. In 2017, $98. Factors believed to be driving the dip include lower demand amid economic downturn and more wind and solar farms under operation. A $70 million port planned for Wallaroo is one step closer to reality, with construction set to kick off next year. T-Port's CEO hopes the project will create 200 building positions and 40 long-term jobs.
Wallaroo's port set to be transformed for grain and mineral sand exporting. Artist impressions revealing exactly how the new port will take shape.
Consists of 240,000 tonnes of bunker storage, a port export facility, silo facility, consisting of about 21,000 tonnes of silos.
T-Port CEO says these plans have been in the woodworks for years, with the first exports expected in January of 2022.
It's fantastic to see it get into that phase. Naturally, it's also worrying and distressing, because we know that we're now going into the construction of the next port, and we know just how difficult that is after the Lucky Bay side.
The export side aiming to reduce transport costs for local farmers. It's also expected to inject money back into the community, not just with the 200 construction jobs.
Those that are working there, we're talking about housing, food, any of the other secondary industries behind it.
Teaport is also in discussion with Whyala's GFG Alliance and CIMEC in regards to potentially shipping iron ore out of the Spencer Gulf.
18 months discussing how we could develop that together without any further onshore development of port sites within the Gulf.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
In our broadcast last night, we reported a development application at the Federal Hotel in Port Pirie was to be considered by Council next Wednesday 28. That information is not correct. The next step of the approval process is assessment by Council planners. Still to come tonight, a Port Pirie musician returns back home to release his first track, and extra funding available for men's sheds to further support community members. Welcome back. Port Pirie's very own rising star, Apollo Blue, has released his debut single. Returning home to celebrate with family and friends, he says the song is a metaphor for the powerful force we all possess.
Apollo Blue's hard work and dedication to release this single. Growing up in Port Pirie, then chasing his dreams to Melbourne, he's touched down back home just in time to debut his first song.
To take away the pain.
I've been wanting to be a singer and artist since I was 12 years old, singing in the bathroom secretly, so it's really exciting.
Attending music gigs in Melbourne, the song Moonchild is based on one particular night out.
I created this whole character in my head of this moonchild that came alive at night, and as soon as I got home, I just went on the keyboard and wrote the whole song.
Family and friends gathering for the launch and creating some personalised merch.
Surprised me and had Apollo Blue t-shirts made and walked out with my song playing and breached my copyright, but I won't take them to court.
He's got so much to offer to the world, and through his music, there's so many positive messages, and that's, another thing I'm really, really proud about.
Now the sky's the limit, with more songs potentially on the way.
And it all comes down to you, where you know that it does well.
But I've actually written a ton of music that might be coming out as well.
Those interested can listen through multiple platforms.
Listen to Moonchild. It's fantastic. I reckon you'll love it. So you can download it on iTunes, Spotify, or go onto his YouTube or Facebook page and you'll see all the links.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The federal member for Grey is calling on men's sheds to apply for the next round of federal government funding, with more than $20,000 up for grabs. In response to COVID-19, IT equipment and training will be prioritised, helping increase connectivity between shedders.
Part of this men's shed for 6 years, the newly appointed shed president says it's a haven for many men in the community.
I think one of the problems when you leave work, you feel isolated. You've been with company all your life, you've been with 3 or 4 guys working every day. So, we come here, have a good time, have a coffee break, chat.
The federal member for Grey now encouraging volunteers to jump on the new funding.
There is a new round of men's sheds grants opening, and I'd really like to urge every one of my 22 sheds across the Grey electorate to get into have a bid for this.
The last round of funding proving to be a success, with many regional applicants able to obtain safety equipment.
Cleve, Owen, Streaky Bay, Bullaroo and Whyalla, and they all got around about $5,000.
Whyala's men's shed using that money to buy a special safety saw.
It's so safe that if you happen to accidentally touch the blade, it stops within a millisecond and it saves taking your finger off.
In this next round, up to $8,000 will be awarded for health, wellbeing and events, another $8,000 for shed improvements and a maximum of $5,000 for equipment. Applications close Friday the 27th of November. More information is listed online. Sophia Contigonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Augusta residents only have one more sleep until the opening of Show on the Road. It's hoped the 3-day amusement event will bring some fun back into regional communities.
It's said to be a weekend full of fun here at the Port Augusta Wharf.
Kids rides and a couple of adult teen rides, sideshow games, show bags, anything everyone wants, really. Good food too, yeah.
Show on the Road is travelling around the region to spread some fun, and organisers say they can't wait to kick off tomorrow night.
Seeing the smiles on kids' faces, I think that is the best thing about it. It really becomes a lifestyle. You have to love it to do it. It is hard work, but when you see those sorts of things happen and the kids enjoying themselves, that's the best part of it, yeah.
It's been a tough year for show operators, with COVID having a major impact on the industry, but they're eager to get the community out.
Personally, our business, we haven't been able to do any of the country shows, which is normally our source of income also. So a mixture of that and the fact that everyone's stuck home with restrictions and no one gets to do anything fun.
However, organisers say they've worked hard to get the show on the road.
Getting approvals from SA Health and things like that, making sure that we want to run a really safe, fun event for everyone as well. So safety is our number one.
Entry to the park is free for spectators. Ride tickets can be purchased online or at the gate.
So we've got a Friday night session which is 6 till 9 p.m, and then we've got 2 sessions on Saturday and Sunday which are both 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. Then we close for an hour and do a real deep clean, and then it opens again 2 till 5 p.m.
The show will be heading to Whyalla next weekend. Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Golf News.
For the third year running, our state has taken out a prized national award. South Australia winning the Best Event State in the 2020 Australian Event Awards. It's certainly come as welcomed news following such a tough year with cancelled events and a lack of tourism. Stay with us after the break. Vendors at a business conference receive community interest. And a Whyalla group raises money and awareness for breast cancer. Hello again. Businesses from around the region have again today gathered at the Global Maintenance Upper Spencer Gulf Conference. For some it was their first conference, and they say it has been a phenomenal networking experience.
It's been a conference like no other, a positive boost for regional businesses in the wake of COVID.
A lot of businesses have been trying to operate online and in new formats that they haven't done before. So to actually get face-to-face, to have real conversations has been wonderful.
Finding out what our Upper Spencer Gulf cities have to offer.
It can be as varied as, where to get a good coffee through to some of the local contractors and suppliers. So it's about sharing knowledge of what is available in our region.
For some businesses, this was their first stall at the conference, saying it'll have a great impact on their business moving forward.
Good to get the name of the business out because we're a new business formed here in Port Augusta 2 years ago. So we're still a relatively new business. It's great to put us out in this platform where there are larger companies.
Lots of interest in what we do. A lot of people are not aware of what we do in Port Augusta, so that's been good for us.
And for others who are no stranger to the conference, they say it's a great way to reconnect with others from around the region whilst also meeting new faces.
But also to meet with the procurement and logistic people from the big industries and the big mines. So for us it's been really good. We've had some really good leads.
Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A new inclusive football program will be kicking off in the Clare Valley for young residents living with a disability. Starting next Tuesday, the pilot program is aiming to promote active lifestyles for children aged between 8 and 18.
Come down, do 4 sessions of football. We've got the SANFL inclusion officer coming down, running the sessions. We're asking for all support workers, service providers, families to come down.
Those interested can register online for the free session. Flinders Ranges Council residents are still able to have their say on the Corn Food Bushwalk. Artist impressions of the walk are now available online, outlining plans for the town. It's hoped the new walk will attract tourists as well as benefit locals, set to include a new paved walkway, seating and shade. Residents have until tomorrow night to voice their opinion. The Whyalla Pink Spirits is continuing to spread breast cancer awareness this month while raising money for the cause. Setting up shop at the City Plaza Espresso Cafe today, the ladies dressed in pink say they're grateful for the community support, with many businesses decorating their front windows in the colour pink.
City Plaza traders always, for many, many years, have supported Pink October, the Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
The Pink Spirits remind locals to check their breasts regularly. Stay with us after the break. We'll have all the latest cricket tips, and Britt will join us with the weather details. Welcome back. With cricket continuing to return to the Spencer Gulf, let's hear from those in the know with this week's tips.
Hello and welcome to round 3 of Port Pirie Cricket Tips. This weekend we see Wandeera taking on Southport at Port Oval with a 10:30 start there. With a big chance of rain all day tomorrow, I'm not sure we're going to get a game in, but if we do, I'm tipping Wandeera. Out at Senate Road, we got Props taking on Port Germain. With only the one game played so far, we haven't got a lot of form to go on, so I'm tipping Port Germain in that one.
G'day and welcome to round 2 of Port Augusta Cricket. This week we see West Augusta take on Corn at Pirie Park. Corn won on the weekend. Westies are going to have a hard time beating them. I'm going to go for Corn to beat Westies at Pirie Park. The other match sees Central Stirling take on South. This should be another good match at Eteray. Well, Central Stirling beat West on the weekend, so they should put up a good fight against South Augusta, but I'm going to lean towards South Augusta over Central Stirling. So there are my 2 winners, Corn and South Augusta.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather. Here's Britt.
Thanks, Ruby, and good evening. Maximum temperatures were mostly below average today. As of 3 p.m, Port Augusta had recorded a high of 33 degrees. It got to 29 at Broken Hill and 28 at Port Pirie. But the remainder of the Spencer Gulf region was a little cooler. It reached 23 degrees at Whyalla today, 21 at Woodner, with highs of 17 recorded at Kadina and Cleve. Port Lincoln 16 and 24 degrees was the high for Adelaide today. Taking a look at today's skies, and the satellite images show areas of thick cloud over many South Australian districts, with a deepening low and trough generating showers and thunderstorms. Most of that stormy activity has been taking place over the pastorals and Flinders, but that low is moving east across the south. Moving on to tomorrow, and there's a marine wind warning in place for the Spencer Gulf, with southeasterly winds reaching up to 25 knots tomorrow evening. Seas around 1 metre, but rising to up to 1.5 metres in the south. South to southwesterly swells at 1 to 1.5 metres, increasing to up to 2 metres through the morning. And there is a warning to sheep graziers in place for tomorrow evening for the lower and eastern Eyre Peninsula, mid-north, York Peninsula and Flinders forecast districts, with cold, wet and possibly stormy conditions on the way. Showers easing at Port Lincoln tomorrow with a top of 19 degrees. Cleve showers and 22. Woodner also with showers expected and a high of 24 degrees. Showers and a possible storm for Whyalla reaching 24 tomorrow. Similar conditions for Port Augusta with a top of 30 degrees. Kadina, showers and 24. Showers and possible storms about the mid-north. Port Pirie with a top of 27 degrees. Clare 23. Broken Hill, showers and a possible storm with a top of 28. More showers expected on Saturday, except for the west coast where it's looking to be a dry but cloudy day. A top of 20 degrees expected at Woodner. Port Augusta, Broken Hill, Whyalla, Port Pirie and Kadina all 19. Adelaide with a top of 18 degrees and Port Lincoln reaching 17. Sunday, mostly cloudy conditions across the region with maximum temperatures sitting in the mid to late teens. And Monday is looking to be a fine and partly cloudy day across the Spencer Gulf, with maximums sitting between 16 and 20 degrees. So Ruby, it's looking like we've got a wet couple of days ahead. That's the end of the forecast, and with that, it's back to you.
Great, thanks for that, Britt. And that's the local news this Thursday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.